So, good morning. This is Liz Campbell of Yoga Gym, and this is our third day of our vacation here in North Carolina. And yesterday we went hiking. We hiked it was about a 5 mile hike, but I'm feeling that stiffness and a little bit of my age, I must admit. And so this morning I just want to do a little practice to kind of stretch out some of those places that we worked during our hike yesterday and get ready for another hike today. So I hope you'll join me in this practice. So I'm gonna start standing. And the first thing I'm going to do is just the sliding down and up, gently stretching out my hamstrings and the hip flexors, just waking the body up, checking in with myself. How am I feeling today? And then I'm going to come back up to standing, and I'm going to lace my fingers together like this and lift my arms up overhead, lengthen through the torso, lower the shoulders down. And then I'm just going to hinge gently over to the right and back to center and to the left and back to center. Just keep going from side to side. And you don't have to go as far as I go. You go where your body tells you you're getting a good stretch here. And then bring that to a close. And then just hinge forward and lift up with the flat back. Try to keep the knees straight, pressing into the feet, activating the arches. And then bring this to a close and go ahead and come down onto your hands and knees in tabletop. So as you can see here, I forgot my yoga mat. So I've got a towel here on the wood deck to protect my knees. And just come to tabletop. I'm just going to do a little cat-cow, inhaling as I round into the cat, exhaling as I arch into the cow. And in this subtle muscle movement, I can really feel a lot of those muscles I used yesterday. For some reason in the upper back, I guess because I was carrying a little pack. And then come into your cat stretch and just move in some holographic wave. And here's where you can really find those places where there's some stagnation, a little bit of soreness, and we just want to massage that out. And then bring that to a close. And I want to do long lunges because I want to stretch into my hip flexors on the front of my hips. So bring your right foot forward, your hands down to the ground, and just hinge forward. Bring the knee right over the ankle and lengthen, and then hinge back. And I really feel this on the hamstrings and the backs of my legs this morning. And you know, the more you feel something, the tighter it feels, the more uncomfortable as you begin to practice, the more important it is to do it. And then I'm just going to come forward. I'm going to stay here, press into the ball of the left foot and lift that right knee. You can leave the knee down if this is too intense. I just want to get that deep stretch in the hip flexor on the left side, and then lower, hinge back. Go ahead and draw this right leg back and left leg forward. And again, hinging forward, bringing the knee right over the ankle and back. I'm just going to move into the frame a little bit better here. And hinging forward, and hinging back. feels like I'm pulling taffy this morning. It's really stiff. But you notice how you feel, because we know a body is going to feel different on any given day based on what it's been exposed to. And even though the hike was different from my usual daily activity, the stress level was way down because I was out in nature. And that's always soothing to the nervous system and grounding if you have anxiety. And you can get out in nature, and especially around natural water. That can be really helpful. Now, the next time you hinge forward, we're just going to stay and stretch into the right hip flexor. And then I'm going to press the ball of that right foot to the earth, press the heel towards the wall behind me, lifting and just taking a few breaths here. Again, feeling the strength and the stretch. And then go ahead and bend that knee. Bring your hips back, bring your left leg back. I'm just going to come up into a downward dog and take a nice static dog here. And I can tell I don't have my mat because I feel my hands sort of not quite so grounded as usual. Lift the tailbone, tip the pelvis towards the thighs. Bring your weight back over your heels and breathe. And then bend the knees and come back down. And then I'm going to come to this pose called Vajrasana. So I'm sitting on my heels. If this is uncomfortable for you, you can sit on a little something, or you can just sit cross-legged, sitting up nice and tall here. And then bring this right arm across as you inhale and down as you exhale. And the left arm, inhale and exhale. You could also do this standing up on your knees. That's actually, so let's do this a few more times, and then I'll one more time like this, and one more time like this. Now if you want to stay here, you can stay here. If you want to come up to standing on your knees, you can stand like this. And this is actually good because it works the core strength a little bit. And then bring that to a close and make your way back up to standing. And I'm just going to do this little balance practice, because it's always, a balance practice is always a good thing to add to your day. Bring your hands right here and just start bending and straightening. As you bend the knees, let the sits bones come back a little bit, bending and straightening. And the next time you bend, bring your weight onto your right foot, roll up on the ball of the left, and then all the way back over. So the first thing you want to do here is get the energetic of this smooth, fluid movement. And then once you've done that, you want to get the sense of balancing on the right foot here. Transition. Balance on the left foot here. Transition. Weight over the right foot. Weight over the left foot, and really take your time. If you slow down in the transition, the body will set itself up. And then you can begin lifting that toe off the ground, just gently lifting the toe and back to center. Lift the toe and back to center. When you lift the toe, if you lift up on the root lock and draw the navel in and then release here, root lock navel and release here, that will help with your balance. And then bring that to a close. Stay here and breathe. Now, I want to stretch a little bit more into my quadriceps, and I'm going to use this post to help me balance. So if I had this frame better, I'd be standing right to the side, but I've got it kind of behind me. I'm going to put my hand on it, and I'm going to draw this right knee up into the chest and lengthen, and then slide your right hand down to the right ankle and drop the knee. And then if this knee wants to come out like this, draw it down and lengthen and draw the heel towards your sits bone. And then if you want to take the balance, you can do it like this. And if not, just leave your hand on whatever it is. You can use a wall, a chair, whatever's handy for you. And then release that leg and rock from side to side. And I'm just going to turn this way to do the other side. So now bringing my left knee up, take hold of the ankle and drop the knee down. So you'll feel a strong stretch through the front of the left thigh. Lengthening here, and then draw the heel as close to your sits bone as you can and lengthen. Engage the bandhas, and if you want to take the balance, do that. And then bring your hand back to the wall, chair, or post, and release that left foot. And just rock from side to side. So when I did that stretch, it stretched out the front here, and it used these muscles here were contracted, so those muscles are sort of doing this a little bit because it was a pretty strong stretch. So I'm just going to do a couple of forward folds here. And let's add the arms, inhaling up. Exhale, hinge forward, rotate the palms of the hands up. Inhale up. Exhale down the midline. Inhale up. Exhale, half forward fold. Inhale up. And exhale. And one more time, inhale. Exhale, half forward fold. Inhale up. And exhale. Bringing your hands to the sides, breathe in here. And then come back to your support. And we're going to do that pose we just did and take it a step further. So start by bringing your right knee in, hug it in, slide your hand down to the ankle, drop the ankle, lengthen the spine, and then go ahead and hinge forward. So press your foot into your hand and draw back on your hand to create some tensegrity. And this is a little bit of a back bend. You can find a drishti and take the balance. This is called dancer pose. And when you're ready, hand back, knee back down, release the foot, and rock from side to side. And we'll do the other side. So hand on your support. Go ahead and lift your left knee into the chest. Hug it tight. You want to get this big stretch here. Slide the hand down to the ankle, drop the knee. Lengthen the spine, press your foot into the hand and pull back with your hand. Hinge forward, open the heart center. Take that right hand off. Breathing here. And when you're ready, hand back on post, knee back down, lower the foot, and just rock from side to side. And let's do those forward folds with the arms again. So inhaling up, exhale, hinge forward, inhale up, exhale down the midline. 2 more times, inhale, exhale, inhale up, exhale, and last time. So it's time for Shavasana. You never want to skip Shavasana, even if it's just a couple of minutes. And because I'm outside, and because I understand we're in bear territory, I don't feel real comfortable laying down on the decking here outside and doing Shavasana. So I'm going to do my Shavasana sitting up in a chair. And I'm going to sit right at the edge of the chair here. It's a rocking chair, but I'm not rocking my Shavasana. Sit right on the edge of the chair. Get your feet right underneath, your ankles right underneath your knees. So this forms a nice 90-degree angle. And then bring your shoulders over your hips, lengthen. Then bring your hands onto your legs. Ears over shoulders, shoulders over hips. And then just notice your breath. I breathe in. I breathe out. I breathe in, I breathe out. Notice the breath first. And after you've let it be whatever it needs to be for a while, see if you can slow it down. And when you're ready, go ahead and just wiggle your fingers and toes, move and stretch in any way your body calls you to move and stretch. And thank you for joining me with this vacation yoga practice. I hope to post again tomorrow, and namaste.